UConn gets a much-needed win at Storrs South, Madison Square Garden, 74-61 against the Fighting Illini of Illinois. Let's talk about it, baby.
Let's get it, 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 let's get it. Yeah. UConn, baby. Home of the champions. Let's go.
UConn wins 74-61 in Storrs South MSG, and let me tell you, that was the better team from the opening tip. Really, the question I had coming in was simple. Can UConn put together a full 40 minutes? Can they go up double digits? They got up to 21 points today and actually step on someone's neck instead of letting them hang around? The answer was maybe. But let's talk. I mean, it's the day after Thanksgiving. We're all excited. We're pumped about being with family and just being, having this opportunity to watch UConn play. And for long stretches tonight, they did exactly that. So it wasn't perfect, but it wasn't complete. UConn went up 13 with Terrace Reed at the line early in the game. And that's the moment when, at that point, I want this championship caliber team to bury you. But this is November 28th. This team just got Terrace Reed and Braylon Mullins back, where they're completely functional as a 15-member team, when in reality, the depth of this team goes probably 10 deep, maybe 11, and Dan's going to whittle that down to 8, 9 in pressure situations. But outside of that, I thought UConn played a damn good game. First half, really clean, had maybe one turnover. Unbelievably gorgeous set at 15-10 in the second half. A great back pick by Solo to free Alex for an easy 2 after Illinois started to kind of, ask a few questions with hitting a few shots in the second half to maybe see if they were going to challenge. I just want this team to end up playing a full game the entire way, and that's coming. That 1,000% will come. Get some. Listen, great line. 36-ish minutes. I would say more like 32 and a half. Like, I do think that there's a really good, there are bones about this team. And I'm going to talk about one player, and he didn't do a lot today. And I know that people are probably sick of me pushing this stuff, but right here, Mullins Mania. Braylon Mullins, if you saw a little bit of a glimpse of it, where he pump faked on a 3, just kind of held the dribble and then hit a quick little 15-foot jump shot. In itself, minimal. But the idea that this kid isn't going to affect how this team is guarded is wild. Like this kid, even outside of Terrace Reed, how they're going to be played when he's on the floor is the reason why they brought him in. No, he's not there yet. And I just saw a comment in the in the chat. That's not the point. You're missing the point. If you think that he was going to be there today after missing the entire season, then bro, just tell me that you don't watch basketball that much. Like, he's not going to come out and give you 20. He played 10 minutes? So it's about the presence. What did Terrace Reed do today? Had 4 fouls. He had 4 points, 5 rebounds, whatever. It's really not about the production. It's about the idea that you cannot account for them. In the past, like Jaden Ross has made himself a factor where if you don't account for him, he will bang a 3 in your eye. There are players on the court that you don't have to account for. Listen, everybody that's ever played basketball knows when you watch a dude play and you're like, I don't have to guard him. Shoot it. Go ahead, shoot that 3. UConn has everybody that steps on the floor for the most part. And this is the reason why when people talk to me about, we need to play Dwayne Karoma, or we need to find like a really beefy power forward. Look, if you want to follow basketball teams that don't have guys who are athletic enough to score, but look like football players and can dominate the paint, go watch Tennessee. Rick Barnes has a ton of them. You know what Rick Barnes does? He has really good teams. He has some really good players, and he never wins big games because those dudes get exposed in big games. You got to have guys who can put the ball in the hole. Do you have to play defense? Yes. But when Dan and his staff turned the corner after that New Mexico State debacle and said, you know what? We're not going to be Rick Barnes anymore. We're not going to be Tony Bennett. We can still play slow. We can still play an efficient offense, but we need to get guys who can put the ball in the hole. This is when that was born. And so absolute kudos to Malachi Smith today, filled in for Silas. Silas got himself into early foul trouble and really kind of foul trouble throughout the whole game. I think this was a really good kind of interpretation of where this team will be as time goes on. Let's see some of the comments in the chat. Pattern of the big lead that disappears. Yeah, listen, I'm with you on that. Like I've been saying that to folks for months now. This team needs to figure out a way that they can win a game from start to finish. Runs are going to happen. If you get up 21 points and then a team cuts it to 15 or 14, cool. But the lull there for a 10-minute stretch, and I think Jeff just posted this, is 1,000% my biggest issue. That's honestly the only thing that I will get frustrated on. It's annoying. Literally the perfect comment. An annoying ass lull at the 10-minute mark. Jeff, perfect. But also, Smith and Ryba, critical, fantastic. Eric Ryba, Terrace getting hurt is the best thing that ever happened to UConn. I say that not even tongue-in-cheek. Like, it is, because what Eric has showed is that he has the ability to step up when it's needed. He was not, I wouldn't say physically on par with the Arizona guys, but it's those moments where he can play in this game and he's just comfortable. Like he shot a 3 today and got blocked. It didn't bother him, like, because he has the confidence to shoot it. Who cares? Even on the kick out where he was going to shoot a 3 and he kind of like pump faked and tried to go to the basket, Dan looked at him and hit him in the chest and said, shoot it. These are such good building block moments. And so this game wasn't perfect. They still win by 13. And I love it. Listen, guys, if you want to jump in the chat, this is a Black Friday where I got my family downstairs. We got football on. I love, there's basketball on. Listen, we have multiple TVs going. There's so much going on. I hope Butler can win their game against Wright State. Like, it's just Big East needs to pick it up outside of UConn and Seton Hall. How about the Hall? I'm going to put the link in the chat if you want to jump on the show. You don't have to show your face. You can play it like Spaces. I just want to hear from more UConn fans because I don't really want to do a long show today unless people want to jump in the chat. So let's pull up the and UConn hockey. Love it. And if you have any Jim Mora comments, I'm happy to hear those too. As I pull up the box score to kind of look at this from the final score here, I wasn't shocked, nor was I as upset as everybody. And maybe that's because, I'm a basketball guy first, and I don't know how you can't be in UConn land, but it is what it is, man. All right, so here's the box score for UConn tonight. Let's look at the minutes distribution. I'm just doing a screenshot for myself. Yeah, I mean, listen, you can tell that who's on a minutes restriction and who's not. Like, the idea that Braylon was going to come in and give you, 25, 30 minutes tonight is just silly. So you had, pardon me, I was up to about 2:30 with my daughter. Everyone in my house is sick but me, which is a blessing and a curse because I'm going to get it real soon here. Let's look at this. So we have Alex with 35 minutes. Don't love that, but don't hate it because it was kind of out of necessity. Solo played 33. Silas was 20 minutes. Terrace was 15 minutes. Also, again, minutes restriction. Jalen Stewart, 24 minutes. Yet Eric gave you 22 great minutes. Jaden Ross, 16. Braylon, 10. And Malachi Smith, 24. The biggest game of the day for me was Malachi Smith. Like, he just was a phenomenal player. I don't think he missed a shot. No, didn't miss a free throw. Didn't miss a free throw, didn't miss a three. How about that little throw in at the end? Wild. Had 14 points, 9 assists, only 1 turnover. This was supposed to be kind of like Silas's, I don't want to say coming out party, because he just came off a triple-double. And I just did a video about this. And to me, my biggest issue with Silas has been like, can you be the alpha? Malachi thinks he's the alpha. Like, you just tell, like, anybody that's ever played ball before understands when dudes, whether they are or they aren't, like the mentality. And to me, Malachi already feels like he's that dude. And in moments like this, when Silas is supposed to have a good game and he, goes on the bench because of foul trouble, and he comes in and basically doesn't play second fiddle to anybody, and is their second leading scorer, is their most efficient player. That's pretty incredible. I mean, think about this. Malachi had 14 points, was 3 of 6 in the floor, 3 of 3 from 3, didn't miss a free throw out of 5, had 9 assists, 1 turnover, a block, and really ran the offense pretty seamlessly. Silas was 9 points, 3 rebounds, 3 assists, 3 turnovers. Not great. Started okay. I think he had 8 points in like within the first 10 minutes of the first half, and then the fouls, all of that stuff. So, look, I think it's a great combo. What do we got here? What's it going to take to shut up all those AK haters out there? Dude, thank you for bringing this to my attention. And I'm not going to out the dude, but like the most notorious AK haters has been literally littering me with messages about, I think Alex is doing this, I think Alex is doing that. How many long 3-pointers is he going to take? What did Alex do tonight? Alex was 4 of 10 from the floor, made 2 of 4 on 3-point attempts. By the way, all 4 of those were NBA threes. So it's not like he made just the shorter ones where everyone's like, oh, when there's multiple 3-point lines, Alex shoots it deeper. And, it just exposes how much you don't know about basketball when you say shit like that. I'm just being honest. And then had 9 rebounds, 5 assists, 3 blocks. Been saying it for 2 years. Alex is the most underrated defensive player we have. Do you put him on the best player? No, but he comes up with so many little plays. I just don't understand the hate. Is it because he's slow? Is it because he doesn't have the lateral quickness that you think a normal winning basketball player should have? Welcome to UConn basketball for 40 years. It's like, whatever, guy. Like, if you want flash, go watch Arkansas. If you want flash, go watch freaking even Duke. I don't care. Like, get off of my team if you are off of my fan mentality of what you think a UConn basketball should be. Alex is the quintessential UConn basketball player. Love him or hate him. And I love him. I totally agree with this. Silas is fouling too much. 1,000% more games than not. And listen, as much as I can't stand James Breeding because he was an abomination today, like he typically is, I would say that the game today was called decent for like a Big East of officiating career, because that's what it was. I would love to see them call less fouls, obviously, on us. But it's one of those things where, like, I have to do a better job of not caring about that as much. But UConn has to do a better job of not getting so many fouls. Like, Jaden Ross played 16 minutes. Raise your hand if you knew he had 4 fouls in this game. I didn't, but he did. 1 big 3. Played some really good defense. I loved his energy. I think I would love to see him get more minutes. I thought Jalen Stewart played okay. I think, again, between the two of them, and I don't know what you think about this, you guys, if you're listening to this, but I think Dan is pretty superstitious. And I think what it comes down to is, Jay Stu, when he's at Madison Square Garden, reminds him of that Marquette game. And it just didn't happen that way. He had a big three. He had a nice little, mid-range jump shot. But for the most part, he was okay. And in those moments, I want to see more Jay Ross, honestly. And for the people that are like, we need to get Karoma in for Alex, I would actually rather see Karoma in there for Jay Stu. And if you're going to put if Eric's in the game because Terrace is out or whatever, I'd rather see a lineup of Karoma at the 5, Alex at the 4, or pardon me, Eric at the 5, Karoma at the 4, and Alex at the 3. If you're going to put Dwayne in there, if not, I don't want to see Jay Stu in there when I know Jay Ross is, honestly, I think he's the better player right now. That's just me, and I want him to prove me wrong, because and it's never about like I think what people don't understand about me is that when I say things like that, I'm not what's his name, Skip Bayless. I'm not going to be like, I think Jalen Stewart is terrible. No, I don't. I think he's good, but I think Jay Ross is playing better, and I want to see him get more minutes. And as Braylon starts to get right here, Mullins Mania, as Braylon starts to get more minutes, Jay Stu better step up, or he's going to be watching a lot of games. That's my only thing, because Jay Ross does things that Jay Stu doesn't. How about that back cut that got an easy bucket and towards the end of the game? Like, those little things lead to more minutes that Dan is going to go, whew, need to put him in when the times get tough. So I just feel like that. I don't know if it's 10x, but I feel like it's 2 or 3x with what we're seeing. That's me. Dan, none of you guys want to come in here and chat, huh? That Christmas or that Thanksgiving turkey must have hit hard. I'll put it in one more time. Let's see if anyone wants to come and join in on the fun. Let's see here. All right. Honestly, guys, like I'm super excited about this team. I'm super excited about where this team is going. I would say it's been an incredible week of basketball outside of even UConn playing. And what's interesting to me is where this not only just UConn, if anyone wants to kind of talk about this, because I know I'm steering this to the Big East as a whole, but if anyone wants to have like a true conversation around the Big East, holler at me, because has St. John's been underwhelming? Yep. Providence sucks. All of that. But UConn, how about a great surprise by Seton Hall? Butler, even though they're struggling today. You have, even as bad as Creighton's been, they make a little comeback and beat an Oregon team that's been pretty good. Yeah, I think the Big East is a lot better than what like a guy like Jeff Goodman said about them being like a 2-bid league. I think he's way off. No, man, you're not off. I listen, there's a lot of really good teams right now. I mean, I don't know if you watch any basketball this week, but Feast Week is crazy. Michigan, Purdue, even Gonzaga. Who else? Arizona, who just beat us. These are all teams that I feel like are very good and are on our level. But UConn is just there. I think the biggest thing that UConn has that I don't think enough analysts and people that are not homers like me talk about is, even when they get up 21 points like they did today, what bothered me about the coverage, and I was getting texts from a buddy of mine, and he was saying, like, Steve Smith is bothering him. And I do think that I thought Steve did a pretty decent job, but just like other games, you cannot go into a UConn game and say things like, man, UConn's going to play at a really fast pace. UConn plays at a sub 300 level tempo. And what that means is their offense is efficient, like points per possession, but they don't play fast. This isn't Alabama. It just isn't. If UConn played like Alabama and Gonzaga, they wouldn't score 72 points. They wouldn't hold teams to 61 points. What they've essentially they've created a system that when they are whole and when they do things the right way and when they have the guys that they like, is the bulletproof basketball that they talk about. Score at a high efficiency rate, create defensive turnovers, deflections, so that you have these long runs, 10-0, 20-0, 30-0, 30-0, et cetera, right? And what that does is people want them to not take the air out of the ball. And sometimes I don't either. I get that. It's kind of like football, playing prevent defense. The issue is like when a team like UConn, who's as talented as a Michigan, as a Gonzaga, as a Purdue, has a lead, how they protect it is by the pace of play, like running their sets, like, only running when they need to. So what people don't understand about that is when you run unnecessarily, you allow teams to come back into the game because there's more time left. And because you're not always going to score. Like, I know that there's this idea that, if you have a ton of possessions and you shoot a ton, you shoot more than the other team, and like the analytics maybe back that up. But I don't know. I think you could probably look at UConn's 2 national titles in the last 3 years and realize that they played this system. And even though they play efficient, they don't play fast. And so what this team needs to understand is they need to get the emotional maturity is when they're up 20 and they have the lead, they're not taking the air out of the ball. You're trying to find the best possible shot so that you always have the best opportunity to increase that lead, not decrease it. And they're still searching for that perfect 40 minutes or that perfect 35 or 36-ish minutes that we heard about. So, yeah, I think that's where we're at. What's this at? Raba is a player I'm very torn on. He's starting to win me over. I wasn't a fan at first. Nice size, but his game is too much finesse for my taste. I need him to dunk the ball. All right, my guy. Like, first off, listen, he's 7'2". Or 7'1"-ish. He's 240 pounds. You're not getting – this isn't Rasheed Wallace. He's a freshman. He's from Germany. Every kid from the Euro leagues or the Euro world has been taught just like everybody else, meaning I'm 5'11", 6 foot, and I can dribble the ball and all that stuff. But like they don't put people in a box when you play in the European leagues. And so Eric was taught how to play like a guard. That's why he's so much more physically gifted with the ball in his hands than most American freshmen. Like, have you watched Chris Seanock play for Houston? It's a perfect example. Same class. I think Seanock was actually higher rated than him. Eric would dominate him from a skill set perspective. Chris Seanock can't dribble. He loses the ball half the time. He's more physically gifted, meaning like he could probably bully Eric in a one-on-one battle, but give me Eric all day because he provides multiple opportunities. This is not, again, we don't do Rick Barnes Houston ball. We just don't. When was Houston's last national championship? When was Tennessee's? These are the types of players that don't win national championships in today's day and game. They're just not. Like, Florida's another great example of their national championship, kind of finesse. Would they have one guy? Like, what's that one dude who was just an absolute monster down low? But he was, again, just like a tip back guy. But he wasn't like a primary player. Dan and his staff don't want inefficient players. They want efficient players. And if that means they're softer, they're going to teach them how to be tougher. And Eric has already gotten tougher. You can see it today in today's game. Like, he was already a different version of himself than from the Arizona game. So big props to Eric, and been on my show before. I love Eric. His family's great. Yeah, I mean, this dude, absolutely an NBA first rounder. I mean, he can shoot it from 3 already. What do we got here? Not nearly as volatile as some other faster teams. They're probably not going to beat a team by 10 to 15. Yeah, exactly. Like that. Again, bulletproof basketball. So, for example, if you get up 15 points if UConn gets up 15, there's probably a higher likelihood that they win it by at least 5 than any other team in the country. Just the reality. Now, if you're a bettor and you have them at minus 5.5, it's probably not the best feeling. But if you're a bettor and you have them at 2.5 or 3.5, they're going to always win by that possession at least. So just remember that going forward. All right, guys, I'm gonna go. It's Black Friday. It's 3:30. Football's on. Basketball's on. I love you all. I'm out for the day, and yes, I did talk it into existence. Emmanuel, appreciate you, brother. Thanks for having your solo hat on that you bought, and that honestly, maybe you talked that into existence. That solo played well. What you got? Personal preference? I played college basketball. I know if you're 7 foot, I don't want you to play like you're 6'2". I'm with you, dude. Like we're probably for the same age, and I do agree that there's a part of me that does want that part of him, that animalistic, like Shaq, like just dunk on people, like all that shit. Like I get it, but just not the way you're brought up. Like if you're not brought up that way, a tiger doesn't change his stripes just because you want him to. So appreciate you all. Anyway, go. Hey guys, anything that you buy on BigEastEnergy.com that's Connecticut based, this is not available yet, but it's going to be. And by the way, all of these hats, these kind of like dad hats that are really comfortable with the Connecticut state and the number of the players are going to be available next week. So whatever your favorite player is, go buy one of those hats to support the Connecticut Boys and Girls Club. All of the money from the BigEastEnergy.com shop is going to, all of that is going to Connecticut Boys and Girls Club when you buy Connecticut specific gear. So if you're a UConn fan, do it up, hook us up, make sure that you're supporting your local kids that are probably trying to be just like the Silas Demarys and the Malachi Smiths of the world and play for the Huskies someday. So have a good rest of your holiday weekend, and we'll see you soon on the Hoops Guy.
Let's get it.